Yes, Saga. Yaga, you know the vibes. You rocking out with yours truly. Showtime Sizzle. I am the source. This is the source experience. Yes, happy Throwback Thursday, everybody. One another week. It's almost over. The month is damn near over because tomorrow is September 1st. You know the vibes. This is the source experience. Um, Hopefully y'all are hearing me loud and clear. But man, shout out to all of the channels, right? That were on point last night, man. Because to be honest, right, majority of the boxing talk last night, not only did you fall for the banana and the tailpipe, um, some of you guys were getting into heated exchanges in regards to the 25% that was going to be the equivalent of $8 million. I don't know how, if you guys claim to do this, that you would have fell for the banana in the tailpipe, you know? And to be quite honest, some of you guys really surprised me. Like, um, I know they try to say, like, I guess, like, I see that on other type of platforms. Um, but yesterday, boxing got that. With these calling shows, right? Anybody can call in and say that they are such and such and such and such, right? Um, and I think a lot of the listeners and people they just ran with it because supposedly, allegedly, it was uh, an affiliate, right? Antonio Leonard, right? Antonio Leonard is a promoter. I know I'm hearing you guys say, a lot of you guys are reporting, saying that he's Jay Prince's business partner. Yes, but he is a promoter. Whenever you watch a top ranked fight card, right, and you hear like when Big Baby or Jihad, Abdullah Mason, Troy Isley, I don't want to forget some nobody. Troy Isley, Abdullah Mason, Big Baby, even Shakur, right? Whenever you hear these guys fighting on top rank and you hear in association with Antonio Leonard Promotion, that's Antonio Leonard. So yesterday, alleged his son, that's what the boxing voice had reported that it was his son that was on the phone. They did not confirm this, but this is what was reported. So he's the one that put it out there. But how he put it out there, if you listen to the phone conversation, he didn't say that it was 8 million. But content creators, YouTubers, they just ran with it, right? Not only did they run with it, the thumbnails were ridiculous. But I want to look back on that, right? In order for Shakur Stevenson to receive $8 million, which is 25%, that means Devin Haney will receive 24 million. Now, Devin Haney's father, remember, he was on record as to stating, right? Remember when Teofimo fought Josh Taylor, right? He fought Josh Taylor at the Hula Theater, and I think it was Fight Hub. It might have even been a media scrum, but I know somebody was interviewing Senior, Junior, right? That's his real name, Junior, but Senior, Tio's dad, right? And in the midst of them interviewing him, I think Bill Haney stepped into the interview. And uh, He said, "You're gonna fight us next." And Junior, right, Senior, Theo's dad, right? I call him Junior. Said, "Yeah, we'll fight you for 20 million." Now, I want y'all to hold on to that right there. When Senior told, uh, he told Bill Haney that, yeah, Theo and Devin can fight for, can have a fight, but Theo will require $20 million. What did Bill Haney tell him? It's out there. Look the Fight Hub interview up, man. Bill Haney told him, "Yo, don't price yourself out," and he wanted 20 million. So you mean to tell me that? Now pay attention to what I said earlier. For those of y'all that's in here, play it back, right? Bill Haney told Teofimo Lopez Sr. that 20 million was pricing himself out, but yet he was going to fight Shakur Stevenson, and his guarantee was going to be 24, and Shakur's was going to be 8 million. Does that make any sense? If you just told a fighter that 20 million was too much, but yet you're going to fight another fighter and you're going to make 24 million and they're going to make 8. See, if you boxing fans, content creators, actually really paid attention to some of the content that gets put out here, you would have never even jumped on that notion that $8 million, 25% was going to be $8 million, when arguably, and I say this with the utmost respect, right? Shakur Stevenson, a Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez fight is the actual bigger fight. Because here you have two former, one current, unified, undisputed lightweight champions. You also have a fighter in Teofimo Lopez who now has beat another undisputed champion, millennial champion, in Josh Taylor, right? But yet the marquee was that he said 20 million was pricing himself out. But yet the money was going to be there for Devin to make 24 million and Shakur to make 8 million if he was going to get 25%. But you media, I don't even want to call y'all media, man. I can't disrespect the game like that and give y'all that tag. You content creators. Not only did you run with that, you planted the seed. And I seen people on Twitter, just this every like yesterday, this was like a big topic. Oh, he turned down 25 million. How? Where? Where was, I mean, 8 million? Where was in order for him to turn down that, where was the 32 million coming up for this fight for them? What promoter was putting that up? Maybe they was going to Saudi Arabia. But see, nobody even brought none of this up. Where was they going to get the $32 million, right? Because that's what it was going to cost, just for those two. $32 million. Because Devin was going to get 24 and Shakur would have got 8. Where was the $32 million for just them two alone coming from? See, all of you guys that discuss boxing every single day on this internet, I don't want to disrespect a lot of y'all, but it's like, man, do you guys have common sense? I don't. Well, to be honest, I don't think a lot of you guys do, because when you break it down, the thing that you guys argue and debate about, and I always tell my guy that's from Texas, right? You take the word of somebody that is giving you boxing information that you don't see them doing anything boxing related, but yet they can tell you that they are an insider, that they know all the stuff that goes on in the industry of boxing, but yet you don't never see them doing anything boxing related other than gossiping about boxing. Like you don't see them covering nothing. Even when an actual fight happens, right? Some of these content creators that are quote unquote boxing insiders, when the actual fight takes place, what are they doing? What they supposed to be doing? You know, catering to their listeners. They're not at the fight. They're doing fight parties, right? But to each his own. Like I'm not gonna knock nobody's hustle. You know that is a Ponzi scheme that a lot of these guys are profiting off of. But when it comes to the business of boxing, and you listen to these guys, right, and then you allow them to continue to keep finessing you, because that's what we got yesterday. Yesterday, not only did the YTC get finessed, it took about 10 steps backwards, man. It really did because there were channels, and like I said, I was surprised where this initially came from, right? But then at the end of the day, you gotta think about it. Like when you do the calling things, right? Who's real? Like I could call in a show right now and say that whatever that right now I'm gonna use this because I see this the rumor mill going around about this, right? And I'm only gonna use this because I'm a New Yorker, right? So right now, what is being whispered about is it possible Danny Jacobs and Jamal Charlo. Now, if I call into one of these shows, I can say, "Yo, I'm from Brownsville. Danny Jacobs is my cousin." Who is to question that? They're gonna go, "Oh, we got Danny Jacobs' cousin on the line." Now, I could just go in and just say, "Yeah, the fight is confirmed. October, yada yada yada." Will that spiral off into people reporting on that? Being that I called into a show and said I was Danny Jacobs' cousin. I just watched the interview today with a guy interviewing a content creator, and he asked him about Earl Spence and the rematch clause, right? And the guy had the nerve to say that the people that he talked to with Team Spence said it was activated. I wish you would get them on your show to confirm that. You know, because like I said, when it comes to Earl Spence, a lot of you guys you claim to have affiliates and all type of associates with Team Spence, but yeah, you can't even get them on the show, let alone Spence. That's what we deal with the YTC, man. But yesterday, man, that shit was like, come on, man. It was like it was apples and oranges, man. To be that naive and dumb to report that Shakur Stevenson turned down $8 million, right? That 25% was going to be $8 million. Now, if you add that what Devin Haney was going to get, Devin Haney was going to make more money than both Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence combined. And nobody like I did see some channels they was on their job, but majority was like, yo, it's sad, man. It's sad when it comes to this, and that's why the powers that be, they laugh, man. They don't take YouTubers serious, man. They do not take YouTube media serious, and this is the reason why, because so many channels and certified media outlets ran with it. But if you notice, the real credible ones didn't even touch that shit, man. Listen, the ones that actually cover boxing and fights that know a little bit about the logistics, they did not even touch that because they knew that shit made no sense whatsoever. They knew that made no sense whatsoever. There was no way in the world that a Shakur Stevenson was getting $8 million, right? 25% was going to equal $8 million playing Devin Haney. You know why? Right now, Devin Haney, who's putting that money up? Right, number one, who's going to put up $32 million? Maybe the Saudis. The Saudis might do something like that, but there was no mention of that. There was no mention of that. But you know what they did do? They got the right channels, right? They got the right people to run with it. But then, once myself, I see WCS, a couple others started really killing that notion. these same channels that tried to push that line tried to switch it up. But no, it's too late. You already put it out there and report on it. Y'all been reporting on that. Y'all been pushing that line, making it seem like 25%, right? Now I'm gonna take it even a step further. They said that 25% would have been Shakur Stevenson's highest payday, right? In order for that to happen, that fight has had to be over a $10 million, right? A $10 million purse, payout purse. I don't see that happening, man. I don't see that happening because it is alleged. You can look it up for yourself that Shakur Stevenson got $3 million for Robert Casacion. Hopefully, I said that right. So if he got 3 M's, right, for that fight, and that fight was at 130, I think. That's when he was the unified champion. So now he's going to fight an undisputed champion, and he's going to be paid more than that, right? More than $3 million, right? So in order to receive more than $3 million, right, he would need the fight to be upwards of 10 million. It would have to be at least over a $10 million split, $10 million purse for a 25% split to be more than $3 million. Is that accurate for those of y'all in here? I don't have a calculator in front of me. Is that an accurate assessment? Because that's what we were told, and that's what we were to believe, that the 25% was going to be more than what he made in his last 3 fights combined or something. I think they even took it that stage to say combined, right? But I just gave you one of his fights alleged. He made a $3 million purse. And you can look that up too. If you don't believe me, look it up for yourself. Man. That's what I always urge. People that come on YouTube for information. Also, check it out yourself. Just don't. I don't care if you like how somebody delivers their flow or their content. Always, do your own reference check. Because somebody could give you the smoothest delivery and be giving you a smooth delivery of lies all the time. And trust and believe, we see that a lot on the YTC. That is a popular play on the YTC, man. As noted, man. But shout out to the solid official content creators that knew this was the biggest wolf ticket being sold, man. And it's crazy how like a lot of boxing people that talk boxing every day really fell for this, man. After we just witnessed the biggest fight in boxing, and both of those guys combined didn't get nowhere close to that, man. Combined, they would have. Listen, combined, right? Their gate alone, right? What did their gate make? Like under 22 million? Like, what was it, 21.8, right? That's what their gate made, right? The biggest fight in boxing, gate made that. So Devin Haney was going to get more than that. Has Devin Haney ever gone in a gate of 24 million? How much did his Lomachenko gate gone? How much did that gone? That probably, domestically. Because the fight with George Kambosos, the first one, that probably was his biggest fight to date. It was in a stadium. But you see, when they ran back the rematch, they didn't fight in that capacity of a level of a stadium. But domestically, I think over here in the States, his biggest crowd to date was the Lomachenko crowd at the MGM Grand. Was that a $22 million game? Obviously not, right? Let's call a spade a spade. It wasn't, right? Is that fair to say that wasn't a $24 million, $22 million gate? So now a promoter's going to put that type of money up, right? And he has not even gone to that type of a gate, let alone a pay-per-view And man, I guess I'm getting too deep for y'all, man. You know, I get too deep with the source sometimes, man. But we need to take these things into consideration, man. Especially when you're reporting on the sport, man. And then you want to feed your listeners this stuff, man. You got to be mindful, man, because a lot of you channels was standing on that, man. Y'all was like, man, y'all was having heated live streams, man. 2 or 3 hour live streams on this shit last night, man. I was watching this shit. I was like, man, and it took everything in my power not to comment on some of these chats. I was like, yo, these dudes is really um thinking that this is the business, man. Like, come on, man. I gotta say this, right? Yo, Bill Haney just sits back. I know he laughs, man. I know he sits back and laughs, man. He sends that shit out to the Crash Dummy channels, right? And then what do? They get their Crash Dummy followers respectfully, and they all soak it up. I watched a dude, and it's sad, man. I got mad love for my brothers and sisters, but it'd be sad to see how dumb people are, right? Yeah, this brother was really going in. He was getting into a heated argument talking about Shakur Stevenson turned down $8 million. I was like, yo, dude, I wanted to comment so bad, but when you comment on some of these platforms that don't like you, that to be honest, they're really jealous of you because they talk about boxing, and then when you point out shit that you actually do in boxing, it makes them look bad, and they get mad about that because they're jealous of you. But I want to say, bro, $8 million, man. 25% was going to be $8 million, right? How was $8 million going to be 25% when Bud Crawford and Earl Spencer fought the damn near 50-50 split, and it was 10 and 12 million alleged, right? But 25% is going to be $8 million for a fight that's not even as big as Bud Crawford, Earl Spence. But this brother he was all in, man. He was arguing. Shakur was a duck. Shakur was a clout chaser, a millionaire fighter. Like I just said, he just fought Robinson, whatever. But prior to that, he fought the April 1st. He probably made a couple M's then, right? In Newark, right? But a millionaire fighter. Like he was fighting for millions of dollars, silver medalist, under unified champion at 130, champion at 126. It's clout chasing. Only on the YTC where you get somebody, and I say this respectfully, somebody that is in a live stream calling a millionaire fighter a clout chaser. A clout chaser. So, this man fought for the country, right? If Shakur Stevenson could no longer fight right now, couldn't take another fight, his accolades up until this point as a professional prize fighter, he already has clout. He represented the country and was a silver medalist, losing to right now a current world champion and Robesi Ramirez. So the last fight that he lost as an amateur or professional was to another current world champion fighter and Robesi Ramirez. But yet this man is clout chasing. That's what we was to believe. That he is clout chasing a fighter in Devin Haney, who is an undisputed champion at one division. One division. Now, if you look at their accolades as fighters, professional and amateur, who's the more decorated fighter? Who's the more decorated fighter? Shakur Stevenson or Devin Haney? But yet, the more decorated fighter is clout chasing. Shit, only on the YTC, man. Does that make any sense, man? See, sometimes I think operating these machines, right? You have my mind. I look at things different, man. I guess I look at things different. And then when I come on the YTC and I see, brothers arguing over points that don't make no sense, I just be like, damn, this can't be serious. This can't be what it is. $1 million fighter is clout chasing. An Olympian, a decorated amateur is clout chasing. A unified champion is clout chasing. He's jealous off of a fighter that he has more accolades than. But see, you will believe that when you believe the narratives. Because see, the narrative is that Devin Haney is more popular than Shakur Stevenson. When in fact, if we do the research, when Devin Haney fought in his hometown of Vegas, because Vegas now um, is his adopted hometown. His last fight in Vegas against Lomachenko, after him winning, he was booed, and that was the first time that he fought in front of a large crowd in Vegas. The last time he fought in Vegas against JoJo Diaz, allegedly the tickets wasn't selling. Now we look at Shakur Stevenson. He fought in Newark, where he's from, 3 times. I covered all 3 of those fights. Each time breaking an attendance record. This previous time in April, setting a new attendance record. But yet, we are to believe that he is clout chasing. Only on the YTC. Only the YTC, man. Hopefully y'all are catching the sauce, man. This 1040, man. You see how I tell you, my new moniker is to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But yeah, let me change the topic real quick, man. I don't want to stick on the $8 million. But speaking about the millions of dollars, man, get with my guy, $1 million Marley. I just put out a little content on him, man. He looked good last night. I just keep my fingers crossed that this opponent does not pull out next week, man. Because Marley works hard. And, we want him to get the fight, man. Even though he got some good rounds in last night. Shout out to Eastern. Got some great rounds in. But you want to fight, man. You want to compete in these shows as an amateur. Whereas at least as a professional, right? Your opponent pulls out or something, they they try everything and anything to get you another opponent. They will get you another opponent because the show must go on as a professional because they want you to get paid. But in the amateurs, man, your opponent pulls out, man, you just don't get a fight. Unfortunate, right? Tragic. Tragic. But yeah, Marley looked good last night. Shout out to Joe Denny. I'm getting real nice with the putting together the special effect joints. Shout out to Coach Ream. Coach Ream was in the gym and Bam Bam. Some of the content that I did release that was Coach Ream on the camera. Coach Ream is working, putting in that work. I think we're gonna get some more work tonight too. I'm not sure. Yeah, last night was cool. That's when I was getting all the notifications, man. I was in the gym just seeing like, yo, the 8 million. Yo, dudes was really running with that shit, man. I guess it was cool, because it kind of took the attention off of what really guys should have been talking about was the deadline, man. But I guess a lot of guys didn't want to talk about the deadline, man, because so many people were just sold on Earl Spence, activating the rematch, man. You know, but I like I said, I think it is deeper. You know, I think it is. I think it is a deeper thing that's going on behind the scenes with that. But like myself, I place phone calls to other media people. Like I when it comes to covering the Spencers and Team Spence, I don't really waste my time. I just go off of I know somebody is credible and they're putting the information out there. I build with them. Because one thing about Earl Spence and his team and the people that cover him, like I said, they give out their information to Ellie Setback, man. I look to Ellie, man. If Ellie's not dropping nothing on it, I say to myself like, damn, it really must not be not really going on with this right now. Because Ellie Setback is definitely one of the insiders. T, what's good, T? Ellie Setback is definitely one of the insiders that they do leak out their information to, you know? And when I didn't see Ellie doing no type of reporting on this, I was like, okay. And then the only thing that we could go off of was the interview that Bomac did. I said, man. And then like I did see a fraudulent content creator that, claims to be an insider or talk with people on Earl Spencer's team. He did attempt to put some shit out or say something, but it's like, bro, the jig is up with you too. You are one of the goofiest YouTube niggas out here, man. Like don't nobody take you serious, my guy. You are and I say this respectfully. When it comes to boxing, you are a good content creator, but you are also Bozo the Clown. Bozo the Clown when it comes to media and actual information. You are a certified Bozo the Clown. And it is what it is, man. If you know, you know, right? And I'm eager to see what's the vibe, man, with that, man. You know? Tomorrow is September 1st, man. I see some channels, see if you hear some channels are trying to say that it's 30 business days. That they was just like it's sad though, man. Because like I said, a lot of these channels, man, they are diehard Earl Spence supporters, right? With no actual Earl Spence insight. You know what I'm saying? At least with us, T, right? Check the vibes, T. Yeah, they talk shit about us, right? But at least we had his uncle, right? We had his uncle. I could call up his uncles, right? And be like, yo, man, what's going on with EJ? These niggas can't even do that. These niggas might try to send his sister or somebody a message on what's her name. At least when we was covering Earl Spence, I could actually call his uncles up and say, yo, man. But you see now I don't even waste the energy doing none of those things. I just like to sit back and watch these so-called certified channels that are tied in with them put out some information, which they seemingly can. You know what I'm saying? They don't have they all get on here and speculate. Oh man, he had a broken rib. I personally know that his rib was broke. He didn't spar. No, you don't. No, you don't. Stop lying. Stop lying. I personally know. Yeah, if you personally knew that, why were you in shock when he got his ass whooped? If you personally knew that he wasn't 100%, I personally knew. No, you didn't. Shut the front door. Shut the front door. Go tell that to your cult following. Go tell that to your cult following. Yeah, me too, T. Me too. But like I said, I'm waiting for Ellie Setback to drop something. When it comes to Team Spence, Ellie Setback is the insider, man. The rest of these niggas on YouTube, these niggas from Texas that's on YouTube, yeah, these niggas is in that nigga's backyard, right? They don't know nothing. Yeah, they don't know nothing. Yeah, they're sitting around waiting for that nigga to tweet something, man. Yeah, they're sitting around. You know what they know? Whatever he puts out on Twitter or whatever. A lot of these other niggas, right? And I say this respectfully. They might hit up somebody in his family, like his sister, somebody that is related to him. But do they really know the intertwines of what's going on in the boxing? No. That's what these niggas do, though, T. It triggers up with a lot of these YouTube niggas, man. These niggas been in the way when it pertains to boxing, man. That's all they is. They just some in the way ass niggas, man. Too bad I can't roll them niggas over with this loader, right? You know what I'm saying? I can't clear them niggas out the way with the loader. You know, like this loader right here, clear them niggas out the way. Like, yo, man, y'all niggas gotta get out the way, man. We gotta open the road up, man. We gotta open the road up, man. Y'all niggas been clogging the lane for years with false information. You heard false information, man. But yes, November, Shakur Stevenson is coming back. November should be a big month, man, because I think Regis and Devin Haney's supposed to fight too. November 11th, man. This is what I'm hearing. If they get this shit together. Remember, it was supposed to be October 23rd or 26th, and now it's looking like November 11th. So let's see how that pans out, right? Shakur Stevenson should be fighting Frank Martin November 11th. Not November 11th, in November, you know. I think that fight is going to be Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford all over again. I put my video out, man, and I'm standing on that, man. I'm standing on that, man. I just think it's going to be, Frank Martin is a good fighter, man. But like I gotta poke my cousin Buddy McGirt, right? I don't think Frank Martin has fought the type of opponents, right, to get him ready for Shakur Stevenson. I know people have, right now, the rumor mill is that Frank Martin cracked Tank Davis in sparring. I know I've seen a little bit of whispers about that, right? And that is hilarious. How people love to use that, right? That he cracked Tank Davis in sparring, right? And if that is the case, right? If he cracked Tank Davis in sparring, right? Now, look, I want y'all to catch this sauce, right? Which is the bigger money fight? Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson? Who's the bigger money fight? Is it the pay-per-view draw right now? Tank Davis is a pay-per-view draw. So is a Tank Davis fight more of a who would you say you're going to get the bigger bag with? Fighting Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson? It's a couple of y'all in here. Feel free to answer that before I give y'all the source on that, man. Who's the bigger who you think you'll get the bigger bag fighting? Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson? Right? Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson? Who you get the bigger bag on? Right? I'm gonna say Tank Davis, man. And I like Shakur. Shakur's my guy. But I'm gonna say you're gonna get more money. You're gonna make more money fighting Tank Davis, right? And Tank Davis is a premier boxing champion fighter, right? Not only is he a premier boxing champion fighter, he also is on that side of the street. So that is a much easier fight to be made, right? Facts, see? Facts. He's the pay-per-view star. That is an easier fight to be made, right? The WBC would have never had to mandate that or order that, right? So the negotiation would have been much easier. And the bag would have been bigger, right? Real talk. Think about it, T. If you're fighting a pay-per-view fighter in Tank Davis, right? Whereas the Shakur Stevenson fight, once it's made, if it's made, I doubt it's pay-per-view. I doubt it. But at least Tank Davis fight would have been a pay-per-view fight. So you're going to make more money. And that's an easier fight to make. And you're alleging, right? You are alleging that you cracked him in sparring. You basically got the best of him in sparring. So why not fight him? So you gotta see, my mind be working, boy. When I see these guys put this shit out, right? I guess that's just the gym guy in me, man. That's the guy that be in the gym and watch sparring and knows about sparring and knows about fighters getting beat up behind the scenes. So when I hear certain shit like that, man, not only do the bells ring off, just everything just lights up. I'm like, what? Hold up. He beat up who? And they're not making that fight? Nah, nah, uh. No, tell these other dummies that sit around and talk boxing. Tell them that they'll believe anything, but they just like to shoot the shit. But somebody that knows, be like, come on, man, that don't even make sense, man. That don't even make sense that he got out on Tank and sparring, but y'all don't want to make that fight. Y'all want to make the fight against Shakur Stevenson, who's gonna beat Frank Martin up. He's gonna beat the living shit out of Frank Martin, man. She needs to just get out the way, lady. This lady is really trying to sweep this shit up. I can honestly do this shit right now, but it is what it is. They all like to help. I think she thinks she's helping me. I got a machine I can scrape it, lady. I can scrape it, lady. But these people always want to help. Yeah, the Tank Davis fight would have been the easier fight and the more lucrative fight for him. But hey, what do we know, T? But go ahead, they got into next Tuesday. But from what I'm hearing, they're gonna get it done, right? And Frank Martin's gonna get slaughtered. Respectfully, yes, I said it. He's gonna get slaughtered, man. He's gonna get beat up so bad that, like I said, it's gonna be Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford all over again. When he gets beat up, they're gonna say something was wrong with Frank Martin. He got injured in camp leading up to the fight. Because I'll give you this: Frank Martin has a puncher's chance, right? Right? He has a puncher's chance. Frank Martin could crack, right? But we all seen that, right? When Frank Martin goes for the gusto, when Derrick James tells him to step it up, right? Frank Martin steps it up. But then after him stepping it up, it seems like he'd be so depleted that he has to take off a couple rounds, right? Didn't we just witness that with the last dude he fought, right? When Frank Martin rocked him. For those of y'all that watch boxing and break down tape and study, remember when Frank Martin got to him, right? His best round before, eventually dropping him late in the fight. But his best round, when he put his foot on the gas, after putting his foot on the gas, the next round probably was his worst round. He was so tired, he took the round off. Now, this is what he's going to need to do against Shakur nonstop. So I just don't see that happening, man. But I could be wrong. But we'll see in November. You heard? We'll see in November. I think I'm going to go ahead and it's done, man. Oh. But yeah, these guys really ran with that yesterday, man. That's why I didn't even jump on that. I'm like, man, only the deaf, dumb, and blind gonna believe that. Yeah, he got out on Tank Davis. Man, if he got out on Tank Davis, y'all should have been campaigning for that fight. I should have been campaigning for that fight. But I know why they don't campaign for that fight, because see, it's easier to get washed up from a fight on the other side of the street, because after you get washed up from, like, he's gonna get washed up from Shakur Stevenson, then he can go back over and get washed up from his side of the street and still have value. Now, if he gets washed up over there first, right, then he's damaged goods. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the jig will be up. It's like, man, this dude ain't nothing. He's a hot air balloon. A hot air balloon. You know what a hot air balloon is? A hype job. He's hyped up. But now if he gets beat up from Shakur, right? Like I said, what he's going to do, it is what it is, right? Shakur is gonna do. Shakur is nice, man. You're gonna see his levels, right? But then he can go back over into the Justice League and still have somewhat of a value. Because they're gonna say, man, Shakur Stevenson is the top ranked fighter, you know. And then the whole moniker of how premier boxing champion fighters or like 4-20 or 5, and it's some crazy shit, man. You know, they seem to catch L when it comes to the guys on the other side of the street. It's a lot of sycamores over here, man. You know the sycamore tree? That's a Caribbean song. Under the sycamore tree. And the one thing about this area, the good thing about this area that I'm in, right? The roads are nice and wide. And there's not a lot of car coverage. Yo, Michaela Mayer fights this weekend. I seen the picture. She posted some pictures. Shout out to my man Al Mitchell. Al Mitchell and K Karambe. K had a busy week, man. Because just last week, right? K had uh Shushu, right? Shushu fought on that Tulsa card. He also had who else did he have? He had Nico Ali, two on that card. Nico caught an L, man. But Nico's still young in the game. He'll be all right. You know, one thing about Nico, right? I can respect. Nico jumped straight into the fire. Remember, Nico don't have an extensive amateur career, right? With this boxing. Nico was a decorated football player, man. That I don't think he had that many amateur fights, and he got thrusted right into the major leagues, man. You know, he didn't come up on the Chitlin circuit. You know. All right, good. This lady left. She did the job over here. I'm gonna tighten it up for her. She did the job. She picked everything up. I'll tighten the cord up for that. It was mad leaves and shit over here, man. She did a hell of a job. Good job, lady. See, rich people don't mind working. They like keeping their shit nice, man. She tightened that shit up for me. See, in the hood, in the hood, they would have threw more garbage out. When they see you coming out, when they see you coming through, they would have threw more shit out there. She picked it up, man. So I salute you, lady. Thank you. You made my job that much easier. But yeah, support the content, man. I think Marley is a problem, man. Jamali Tucker, yes, number one ranked. He's sharp, man. His ceiling. When you talk about ceilings, man, his ceiling is different, bro. His ceiling is different. He sparred a 15-year-old last night. He looked good, man. The kid couldn't really do nothing with him. Like, you see the levels, man. Like, they all was small. Like, Amani and Dude was more competitive. He was getting out on Amani. The kid gonna be good too. But you just seen when him and Marley was in there, Marley was just stepping on it, man. Marley's on a different level, man. You know. Shout out to Reen and Bam Bam. They was coaching. Bam Bam is so much boisterous now, man. Bam Bam was yelling neck bone, and we got different punch combinations that we do, man. So we gotta switch it up now, right? Instead of saying the different punch sequences, we got names now. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't gonna front, man. Motherfuckers act like they don't be fucking with us, right? But they be watching the source experience. So now we got the punch sequences and different terminology. And yeah, I should have got Bam Bam on video yelling out neck bone. It was too funny. He was yelling out neck bone to his brother, to his big brother, man. Shout out to WCS. Oh, hell of a live last night, WCS. Breaking down the $8 million notion. We need more channels like ourselves that try to enlighten and program the masses that are so programmed to just dumbness. They was really sold on the $32 million fight, man. But yeah, that was a $32 million main event, man. That was a $32 million main event that Shakur Stevenson turned down. Let alone for the rest of the fight card. But that main event alone was $32 million in order for him to make $8 million, right? Because Devin Haney was getting 24. So 24 plus 8, if I'm right with my math, is $32 million. So a promoter was just putting up 32 M's for them alone. For them alone. But hey, what do I know? But yeah, great live last night, WCS. You know, breaking that down as well. And shout out to the hottest chat. That's why I can rock with WCS's live, because a lot of people over there, and I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but respectfully, a lot of people over there seem to have their head on their shoulders. They understand numbers, they understand logistics, whereas a lot of these other chats, man, it just be the blind leading the blind. They will argue you down. Hey, turn down 8 million. How? Who's putting that up? Right? Hey, I'm about to go in the yard, man. I got some chili to warm up. He said, them alone. Keep stepping on it. Facts. Appreciate that, WCL. Yes, I'm headed into the yard. You know. The good thing about the yard that I'm going into, I don't need to jump in, nothing to move anything around. I could just enjoy my lunch. When you work on the north side, right, and you go dump in some of these yards, depending on how many people is over there, you might have to get other equipment and move stuff around because the piles start to pile up. But yes, be on the lookout for Jihad Tucker. Jihad Tucker should be making a return soon. Just keep your ears and your eyes open for that. But yes, Molly Tucker is the focus right now. Jamali Tucker, #1 ranked, hell of a skill set. You know, last night he was looking good. I was getting my rest in peace to the root. I was getting my inner Gary Russell Sr. in when he was doing the pad work with Joe. I think Coach Green got that on tape where I told him to right now step it up. Step it up. And I think, I didn't get that on tape. I got to get that on tape next time. Where Joe told me, right? Because when Joe does the mitt work, and then when you hear me say about when I was critiquing Earl Spence and Derrick James, it's because I'm around a lot of mitt work. So I know about routines, right? So when I state a lot of stuff, it's because I'm living off of experience. So yesterday, Joe was like, they was doing the mitts, and Joe likes to always reference, like, he doesn't like me recording them doing the mitts until maybe after a couple of rounds, because that's when he loves to categorize and say, yeah, I'm warmed up now, right? I'm warmed up, right? Because with him, he says the mitt works is like a fight. It's like he's fighting, working the mitts. And after a couple of rounds, maybe about 2, 3, 4 rounds on the mitts, he loves to say that he's warmed up. And that's when you would get the best routines with him and Marley or him and Jihad, him and Broadway, him and whoever he's working the mitts with. So when you hear me critique guys, and I say I watch them doing the mitts, and I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't look like they work the mitts a lot because their chemistry is a little off. Because when you work mixed with a guy, you guys develop a cadence, a chemistry, a dance. And hopefully you guys are seeing that in the content that I am giving you guys. I'm showing you two guys with a cadence, a chemistry on the mix. But listen, I am about to go enjoy my lunch. But before I enjoy my lunch, why don't I just show you what I was speaking on? Because one thing about the Source experience, we do keep receipts, and we do what I like to tell you. We show boxing. We just don't talk it, but we show it. So why don't I show it to you right here? Yo, jumping in and out of this equipment, right? With this, I got the 12-pound vest on. When you take this off, it's a good workout. You know, with the steel-toe boots. It's processing. Give it a second. I don't know why it's taking so long. And tomorrow is Friday. Yes, here we go right here. Enjoy this sauce.
You gotta tell them what you want, Joe. Now pick it up.
Yes, pick it up. You heard me? Pick it up. But this is the Sauce experience, man. You guys be good. Maybe I'll come back on later. I don't know. You know me, Mr. Kill Two Birds with One Stone. I always try to get it in, you know, and give y'all the blogging. That's what this is right here. This is boxing blogging, you know. I'm not gonna jump in the loader. I'm not. I was thinking about doing it, right? I don't know. I say it all the time, right? I'm getting carried away with that, right? I want to enjoy my lunch, and I do see a nice pile over there, right? I don't know. I don't know, guys. But listen, you guys be blessed, right? Do what you do, because I'm gonna do what I do, right? You know what? I might just do it, man. I guess I'll do it. With that being said, everybody be blessed. Enjoy your day. Hopefully I'll come back on a little later. You know the vibes.
You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up.
Hey guys, this is Tiana Tuimuhela. I'm a top-ranked knockout, and I want to give a shout out to Sauce Talk Podcast.
Thank you. You know the vibes.